5 things that Path of Exile 2 does better than Path of Exile 1. The first one has to be the combat. Unlike in Path of Exile 1, players are immediately challenged by enemies even as early as the beginning of the campaign, whereas the combat in Path of Exile 1 only starts getting good and challenging in the end game. And as they say, first impressions are extremely important, especially when it comes to new players. And that leads me to number 2, which is the new player experience. Unlike Path of Exile 1, Path of Exile 2 has stripped away a lot of the complex systems that have made Path of Exile into the game that it is today, and only kept the most necessary parts of the game for people to enjoy. This allows new players to come into the game and not be bogged down by the hours of YouTube videos they need to watch before they can even get started playing it. And speaking of playing the game, I would definitely have to give Path of Exile 2 the leg up when it comes to the fluidity and polish of the game. Now this might come as a surprise because Path of Exile 2 definitely has its fair share of bugs and problems, but the game is definitely much more polished when it comes to the gameplay side of things. Every button press and every movement in Path of Exile 2 feels much more fluid than its predecessor. While both games definitely have their own fair share of clunkiness, thanks to the addition of WASD in Path of Exile 2, movement and game feel is definitely much improved in the sequel. Now, it wouldn't be much of a sequel if it weren't for this fourth point, which is the graphics. While the art style stays consistent across both games, there's definitely no questioning the graphical fidelity of Path of Exile 2. While it isn't the highest fidelity game out there, the details on the character models and the environment in the game are definitely a step above its predecessor, and as a result, it gives the player a much more immersive experience while playing the game. And number 5 is definitely a controversial one, and this is the gem system. Many people argue that the gem system in Path of Exile 2 removes a level of depth that existed in Path of Exile 1. But similar to the improvements that they have made to the new player experience, the new gem system is definitely more streamlined and promotes experimenting with different skills and support gems rather than making players worry about what links and sockets they need when trying out a new skill without losing power. Let me know what you think about these topics in the comment section below, and again, these are